Good morning, and thank you for joining She Makes Products Small Business Summer School. These are our short videos just to help you get your business in gear for the rest of the summer and for the rest of the year. I'm Annette Delancey. I'm the owner of Cast Covers, a rock and fun manufacturing company based right here in the United States. And I'm also the owner of She Makes Products, where we help women product entrepreneurs break through that six-figure revenue barrier so they can grow and scale profitably and have fun doing it. So today's topic is all about COGS, C-O-G-S. What are COGS and how do they affect your pricing? So COGS are cost of goods sold. And when you're a product manufacturer, whether you create it yourself or you have somebody manufacture it for you, this is a critical key line item in your budget and in your thought process. So cost of goods sold is typically what that means is you take the raw materials and the labor to make it, and that's what it costs to make your product. I include packaging in that some people don't, but you can't sell a product raw unless you're at a street fair or something like that. But you usually have still a little tag, you have a little box or a little sack or something. So anything it is to sell to the consumer is included in that. Not your Amazon fees, not your e-commerce platform subscription fees, none of that. Just the raw goods and the labor included. So number one, labor. If you have somebody making it for you, then you know what the cost is. So if you have, for example, let's say you're just making a ballpoint pen and it's got 5 different parts on it. It's got the spring, it's got the little cap, it's got the casings, it's got the ink, it's got the little washer around it. So you take all those parts, add all that up, and then somebody has to actually take all those parts and make it. So hopefully you do a time study to see how long it takes for somebody to make, because sometimes they can make many in an hour or hundreds in an hour, depending on what your product is. Or maybe they can only make one, or maybe they can only make one a day. So then you identify what your labor costs are and you add that to the raw materials. So raw materials plus labor. Now, if you're doing it, this is really important. You deserve what you put into it, just like labor would be. So if you're creating your own product, you're sewing your own product, you're putting together that pen, you're making the jams and jellies, you're doing the jewelry, whatever it is, whatever you're making, if you do it, you have to attribute a labor cost to it to get the true cost of goods. Because someday you're going to get so big that you're not going to be able to make these products by yourself. And so you need to know if you can afford the labor. So if you're not paying yourself yet, you need to start paying yourself. And the way you do that is you go out and find out what it would cost to hire somebody and or contract somebody out. So there's little multi-layers in this COGS pricing aspect. The other thing about COGS, which is really important, is pricing it properly for retail. So the rule of thumb is 5 times cost of goods. So let's say something costs you $10 for labor and materials. So then you should sell it for $50. And what that allows you to do is gives you enough margin, not only for your other expenses, but also so you can have distributors and or other wholesalers in between. So for example, in my product, Cast Covers, fun and functional products for the orthopedic patient, we cover cast, boots, braces, splints, slings. I have Amazon. I consider that a wholesale channel. I have a number of medical retailers and orthopedic clinics. So then they can turn around and sell it for a price and get their fees. So if you take that $10 option, so let's say, and then you sell it for $50 and you sell it to somebody, that pen, it's a pretty expensive pen, but maybe it's a really worthwhile pen. Maybe you make it with Swarovski crystals, but you've got to make sure that the market will bear it. But the important thing is to allow that room. You may not have retailers right now. You may not have distributors. And I didn't originally, but I price it as if. That's the important thing. Because as you grow, people will start coming to you saying, can I sell this for you? Or you're seeing opportunities. I want to sell it there. I want to sell it on eBay or Walmart or Amazon. Those are all marketplaces and they take excessive fees. So if you look at them as a wholesaler, so you're only going to get 3 times cost of goods. So let's take that pen example. It's probably a bad example for $10, but you've got a pen for cost of goods is $10. And then you get it over to Amazon, let's say. And even though it might be selling for $50, there's fees and discounts and coupons and returns, and et cetera, which brings it down to roughly 3 times cost of goods. You're still making money. So that's the important thing. So I just wanted to give you this. Check it out. Check your cost of goods. Remember, cost of goods sold. And the general rule of thumb is 5 times cost of goods for retail. And if you're not there, maybe you're at 4. You got to narrow down your expenses, and possibly scale will help drop down that cost. I know when I first started, oh my gosh, my costs were so high. I was nowhere near that. I was probably like a 1-to-2 ratio. Oof. But you can start working with it and start looking at line item. It's very important. Can you buy the fruit for your jams somewhere else for less expense, or can you buy in larger quantity and make more? Can you sell more? All of these questions, but I am here to help you. So check out my blog, shemakesproducts.com, and also check out, check out the last blog that I had, which was how much does your business pay you? It's an income chart. So you can identify if your product business is paying you what you're worth. Very, very interesting information, thing that I was always wondering about when I first got started over 14 years ago is, how much money can I bring home? So check out that chart at shemakesproducts.com on the blog. And in fact, I'll put a link down below as well. Okay. I hope this was helpful. Again, cost of goods, very important when you're a product entrepreneur. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me, Annette at shemakesproducts.com. Annette, ANNETTE at shemakesproducts.com. Take care. Have a great productive day. Your success, my support. Bye-bye.